A very good morning to all of you. My dear students, in previous video we just completed the chapter 4 human development, and in this video we start a new chapter number 5, which is known as sensory, attentional and perceptual processes. Okay, this is very lengthy chapter and very interesting chapter, and some concepts are little bit difficult, so you have to pay some more attention and some more effort for understanding the concepts. Okay, as you know, in a chapter 3, how the neurons are functions, and how we receive signals or the stimulations by receptors which are presented in a neuron structure. Okay, in this chapter you also understand of the different kind of stimuli, different kind of receptors through which we get information about the world. So this is chapter which is related to sensory or the attentional and the perceptual process. Sensory, that's mean the information which we receive through our sense organs. Okay, information about the world, information about the external or the internal world of the individual by the different kind of sense organs, as you know, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin and two others. Okay, attention, that's mean arousal level. See, in an environment there are lots of stimulus. Okay, for example, if you look around, there are pen, pencil, books, light, wall, curtain, bed, so many objects, chair, table, so many objects are here, so many stimulus are present in an environment in a very large amount. ठीक है, बहुत सारे stimulus present होते हैं, but we select them. ठीक है, we not process all the stimulus in our sensory organs, we not receive all the information, we not receive all the stimulus which are presented in the environment, we select from the environment. ठीक है, हम environment में से basically select करते हैं कुछ particular type of stimulus, and we receive and we process only then information, only that information basically. Now the perception. अब perception क्या है? When we add on the meaning on the sensation, this is the perception. Perception, that's mean ऑब्जर्विंग समथिंग, परसीविंग समथिंग. ठीक है, जहाँ पे हम पूरे वर्ल्ड को अंडरस्टैंड कर रहे हैं, जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन आ रही है उसको एक कंप्लीट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कर रहे हैं, उसे रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहे हैं, उसको उसकी मीनिंग अंडरस्टैंड कर रहे हैं. दिस इज नोन एज परसेप्शन. बेसिकली सेंसरी इंफॉर्मेशन जो हम स्टिमुलस रिसीव करते हैं, दिस इज द सेंसेशन विच वो जो हमें इंफॉर्मेशन देती है, दिस इज इनकम्प्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन, and the perception, that's mean the information is completed, the meaning is add on the sensation, this is the perception. So this is the brief summary about the sensation, attention and the perception, which are basic topics of your chapter 5. Let's look at the introduction of this chapter. So in this previous chapter you have already learned how we respond to various stimuli presented in the external and internal environment. You understand the concept of neuron and nervous system, as well as the endocrine system, the role of hormones, etc. And with the help of our receptors, while some of these receptors are clearly observable, for example our eyes, ears, and others lie inside our body and are not observable without the help of electrical or mechanical device. So this chapter will introduce you to various receptors that collect a variety of information from the external and the internal environment or the internal world, and the focus will be particularly on the structure and function of eye and ear. That's mean in this chapter we will understand the detailed structure and a function of the ear and the eye, and including some interesting processes associated with vision and audition. And you will also know some important things about attention, which help us to notice and register the information that our sense organs carry to us, and different type of attention will be described along with the factors that influence. That's mean the type of attention, what is the meaning of attention, how it is the theory related to the attention, and the factors which are influencing the attention. And at the end of this chapter we will discuss the process of perception that allow us to understand the world in a meaningful way. And you will also have an opportunity to know how we are sometimes divided by certain type of stimuli such as figure and pictures. That's been the part of illusion. So let's start knowing the world. This is really amazing कि कैसे हम वर्ल्ड में जितनी भी चीज़ें अवेलेबल है कैसे हम उसको हमने कभी शायद नोटिस नहीं किया, हमने कभी ऑब्जर्व नहीं किया, हमारा कभी अटेंशन उस तरफ गया ही नहीं कि किस तरह से हम इतनी सारी कॉम्प्लेक्स चीज़ों को एट द साइमल्टेनियसली रिसीव करते हैं, उसकी मीनिंग अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अभी मैं आपको पढ़ा रही हूँ, यू हैव book, you have pen, you have mobile phone, you receive so many auditory signals, at the same time the visual images, and you process these all the information on with the help of your cognition, with the help of your mental abilities, and you comprehend, you understand the things which we are discussing here. Okay, so these all kind of complex activity started with the information which we receive. ठीक है, द इंफॉर्मेशन आइदर एक्सटर्नल और इंटरनल, ठीक है, या एक्सटर्नल वर्ड के बारे में या इंटरनल हमारी बॉडी के से रिलेटेड जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन हम रिसीव करते हैं, इसी के थ्रू हमें पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन होती है, पूरा आइडिया लगता है कि कैसा वर्ल्ड है और कैसे हम सारी चीज़ों को नोटिस करते हैं, किस तरह से हम चीज़ों को परसीव करते हैं, उसके लिए हमारा अटेंशन और परसेप्शन किस तरह से हेल्प करता है. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल sensations or the stimuli. So the world in which we live is full of variety of objects. Let's look at another PPT. So sensory, attentional and perceptual process. So this chapter is basically explain the nature of sensory processes and type of attention, form perception and space perception, socio-cultural factors in perception. This is the objective of this chapter. Now division of this chapter, this is very longest chapter, so we make some divisions for understanding chapter better. So first is stimuli and stimuli and the sense modality. In this you understand the concept of stimulus, types of stimulus and the concept of stimuli, and the sense modality, because the very specialized and the complex system of a particular sense organs. This why this is known as sense modality. Now after that the human eye and ear in detail, then the attentional processes, perceptual processes and perceivers, the characteristic of perceivers basically, then the perceptual organization and principles and space, depth and distance perception basically, then the perceptual consistencies and illusion and socio-cultural influences on perceptions. And okay, this is the basically division of the chapter. Let's start in today's video. The introduction, nature and variety of stimulus, then human sense organ and sense modality. ये टॉपिक आज टुडे कवर करेंगे. Okay, so knowledge of the world depend on three basic processes: sensation, attention and perception, which we had already described in a brief. What are these three processes? Now highly interrelated, and these three processes are very important thing is here that these are the basically interrelated. First of all, attention, okay, because we are attentive, our arousal level is high, we are ready for receive information, that's why we receive the sensations. ठीक है, sensation that's mean a first information about any स्टूमली. ठीक है, किसी स्टूमली के बारे में जो हमें फर्स्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है, जो बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है, दिस इज द सेंसेशन, बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन. देन व्हेन वी ऐड ऑन सम मीनिंग ऑन द सेंसेशन, दिस इज द परसेप्शन. ठीक है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अवेलेबल एनवायरनमेंट में जितने भी अवेलेबल स्टूमली हैं, हम किसी पर्टिकुलर स्टूमली के लिए जो कि अटेंटिव होते हैं, हम उसे अटेंड करते हैं, हम अटेंशन पे करते हैं, दैट्स वाई हम उसे रिसीव कर पाते हैं, उसके इन्फॉर्मेशन को, उसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन को जिस सेंस ऑर्गन्स के थ्रू हम रिसीव करें, जिस प्रोसेस के थ्रू हम रिसीव करें, दिस इज द सेंसेशन. एंड व्हेन वी ऐड ऑन द मीनिंग ऑन सेंसेशन, दिस इज द परसेप्शन. Or so that's why these three systems, these three concepts are very much interrelated, very much correlated, all are dependent on each other, and consider different elements of the same processes. ठीक है, which is cognition. So cognition is a part which basically collect these three in a एक vacuum way. ठीक है, इन तीनों ही प्रोसेसेस को एक वैक्यूम वे में ये कंसीडर करता है, इन तीनों के स्मूथली फंक्शन को ये ऑपरेट करता है कॉग्निशन हमारा. which is our mental processes. Okay, nature and varieties of stimulus. So let's start. The world in which we live is full of variety of objects, peoples and events. Look at the room you are sitting in. You will find so many things around. Just to mention a few, you may see your table, your chair, your books, your bag, your watch, picture on the wall and the many other things. ठीक है, आप जिस रूम में seated हो, you see around your room and you find there are so many objects, so many things, so many you can say the things which are presented in your environment. So their size, shape and color are also different. If you move to other room of your house, you will notice several other new things like pots and pans, almirah, TV. If you go beyond your house, you will find still many more things that you generally know about, like trees, animals, buildings, roads, transport things, so many things. So such experiences are very common in our day to day life. Even these are मतलब ये इतनी ज़्यादा common है कि even when we are not any time concentrated on these type of things, ठीक है, हमारा कभी attention ही नहीं जाता, हम कभी ध्यान ही नहीं देते इन सारी चीज़ों पे. So we hardly have to make any effort to know them. कि हमें शायद बिल्कुल एफर्ट ही नहीं करना पड़ता, हम कभी मतलब रियलाइज़ ही नहीं करते कि कितना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सिस्टम है जिसके थ्रू हमें इतनी सारी चीज़ों के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन मिल रही है. हमें कभी इसको एफर्ट नहीं लगाना पड़ता कि हम इन सारी चीज़ों को रिकॉग्नाइज कर पाएँ, इनको प्रोसेस कर पाएँ. सो इफ़ समवन आस्क यू हाउ कैन यू से दैट दीज वेरियस थिंग्स एग्जिस्ट इन योर रूम और हाउस और इन द outside environment, so you will most probably answer that you see or experience them all around you. So in doing so, you are trying to tell the person that the knowledge about various objects because possible with the help of our sense organs. So these sense organs, for example, eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, and these organs collect informations not only from the external world but also from our own body. How we realize our heartbeat is fast, how we realize we feel fever. So this type of information which are related to your external world, your stomach pain, your headache, your sweating, these are things which are related to your external environment. So the information collected by our sense organs from the basic of all our knowledge. So the sense organs register several kind of information about various objects. However, in order to be registered, the objects and their qualities like size, shape, color must be able to draw our attention. That means the property, some objects automatically catch your attention. By example, if you get example, so if there is a very bright light, so if you don't want to receive the particular kind of system signal, but still your attention is going to the brightness of the light, and you without intention you receive the information about the brightness. So this is the kind of qualities which we receive about the stimulus, and the registered information must also be sent to the brain that construct some meaning out of them. So thus our knowledge of the world around us depend on three basic processes called sensation, attention and perceptions. With the help of these three processes, we understand our world, external as well as internal. So these processes are highly interrelated, hence they are often considered as different elements of the same processes called cognition. So let's move on the nature and variety of stimulus. So there are you can see there are so many things around, and you can get the information about it, and you suddenly decide the qualities. You suddenly realize the qualities of the particular object. For example, the hardness, the smell, the touch, the taste, the color, the brightness and so many other things. So the external environment that surrounds us contain a wide variety of stimuli. Some of them can be seen house, or while some can be heard only. Heard only. For example, music and fragrance of flower, like the smell, or taste like sweetness, bitterness. So there are still other type of others that we can experience by touching, like softness, hardness, or the color of the things. So all these stimulus provide us with various kind of information. So we have very specialized sense organs to deal with these different stimuli. That means our sense organs are very much specialized for receiving a particular kind of stimulus in a vital detail. So as human being, we are bestowed with a set of 7 sense organs. ठीक है, जो human beings है, they are blessed with a 7 sense organs. You know about the 5, and in a later on you understand that 2 others also. So these sense organs are also known as sensory receptors or information gathering system. Okay, this is also known as information gathering systems, or you can say the receptors, because they receive the information about the world. So because they receive or gather information from a variety of sources, 5 of these sense organs collect information from the external world. These are eyes, ear, nose, tongue and skin. ठीक है, eyes, that means visual information, ear, auditory information, nose, smell related or the olfactory information, tongue, taste related information, skin give us information about the pain, pressure, touch, and so many others. For example, the snake is or the any insect is running on your hand, so you can recognize it. So this is the kind of information. So while our eyes are primarily responsible for vision, ear for hearing, nose for smell and tongue for taste, skin is responsible for the experience of touch, warm, cold and pain. So specialized receptor of warm, cold and pain are found inside our skin. So beside these 5 external sense organs, we have also got 2 deep senses. They are called kinesthetic and the vestibular systems. Okay, as you know, there are 2 other systems which are known as for example the kinesthetic and the vestibular system, which are internal in our body. So they provide us with important information about our body positions and movement of body parts related to each other. So with these 7 sense organs, we register 10 different variety of stimuli. For example, you may notice whether a light is bright or dim, whether it is yellow, red or green, and so on. So with sound, you may notice whether it is loud or faint, and whether it is melodious or the distracting, and so on. These different quality of stimuli are also registered by our sense organs. So there are basic 5 sense organs: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, and 2 other internal sense organs which is known as kinesthetic and the vestibular system. Human senses enrich our perception. External sense organs are these: vision, audition, smell, taste and touch. Deep senses are kinesthetic and the vestibular. Now our 2 sense organs, the eyes and ear, which we study in detail in a later part of the chapter, and other 5 sense organs we will discuss here now. So first of all, the smell. So stimulus for smell sensations. How we smell something? Because of molecules of various substance contained in the air. ठीक है, हमारी नोज़ जो होता है, इसके स्ट्रक्चर में बहुत सारे डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स को रिसीव करने की पावर होती है. वी रिसीव डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स विच आर प्रेजेंटेड इन अवर एयर. सो एंटर नेजल पैसेज, dissolve in most nasal tissues and come in contact with receptor cells contained in olfactory epithelium. So humans basically 50 million such receptors. Can you imagine? The 50 million receptors are presented in our nose, and we receive almost 10,000 smells. We can differentiate between the 10,000 smells in a day. ठीक है, सो डिस्टिंग्विश एंड रिकॉग्नाइज. ठीक है, हम इतनी सारे स्मेल्स की फ्रेग्रेंसेस को डिस्टिंग्विश कर पाते हैं, डिफ्रेंशिएट कर पाते हैं वन स्मेल को अनदर स्मेल से, एंड वी रिकॉग्नाइज. ह्यूमन कैपेसिटी जो है ये बहुत ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. हमारे पास मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 50 मिलियंस रिसेप्टर्स हैं जो ऑल्फैक्टरी सेंसेशंस को रिसीव करते हैं, और हमारी ये इतनी ज़्यादा पावरफुल और इनरिच्ड हैं कि हम डिस्टिंग्विश कर पाते हैं एंड रिकॉग्नाइज कर पाते हैं 10,000 स्मेल्स को. जस्ट इमेजिन द स्मेल ऑफ पेट्रोल, द स्मेल ऑफ पेंट, द स्मेल ऑफ रोज, द स्मेल ऑफ एनी डिलीशियस फूड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द any kind of food, for example the pizzas, cheese, when they are burst, and the you can smell the any kind of deodorant or the perfume. So you can recognize, not only recognize, even you can distinguish, you can discriminate between the two smells. So your power is very much high in comparison to the animals. You can smell in a very large amount of smell. ठीक है, आप बहुत ज़्यादा अमाउंट में स्मेल्स को डिस्क्रिमिनेट कर पाते हो. हालांकि फ्यू एनिमल्स ऐसे हैं जिनमें हमसे भी ज़्यादा पावर होती है, बट ह्यूमन बींग्स आर ऑल्सो वेरी एनरिच इन द गिवन फॉर द स्मेल पावर. नाउ सेकेंड सेंसेशन इज द टेस्ट. सो सेंसरी रिसेप्टर्स लोकेटेड इनसाइड स्मॉल बम्प्स ऑन द टंग. हमारी जो टंग होती है उसमें स्मॉल बम्प साइज के स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं विच आर नोन एज द पेपेलिया, एंड दीज पेपेलियाज आर बेसिकली responsible for our taste. So in each papilia a cluster of taste buds. ठीक है, इन पेपिलियंस में which are so much bumps size के होते हैं, इसमें cluster of taste के buds होते हैं, and these are responsible for our taste sensation. And in humans 10,000 taste buds. ठीक है, in a particular papilia there are 10,000 taste buds in a tongue, and 4 basic tests which we can distinguish. We can recognize the sweetness, saltiness, bitterness, and the sourness. So these 4 basic tests which we recognize, which we perceive from the our tongue. So other sense like smell, texture, temperature, pressure or tongue add up. ठीक है, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल हम ये तो 4 ही तरह के टेस्ट होते हैं, बट क्या ऐसा होता है कि आप डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टेस्ट को फील कर पाते हो? एक्सेप्ट दीज 4 यू कैन परसीव so many other tests. So on how it is possible? Because we add some different features also. ठीक है, like the texture of the food, the temperature, the pressure ऑन टंग एड ऑन एंड द स्मेल. इन सारी चीज़ों से को रिलेट करके आप बहुत सारे डिफरेंट टेस्ट को इवन क्रिएट कर पाते हो और उनको रिकॉग्नाइज कर पाते हो, फील कर पाते हो. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्वीटनेस, so sweetness of honey and the sweetness of gulab jamun is definitely different. The sweetness of gajar ka halwa is very much different. When we are talking about the sourness, so द सोरनेस अबाउट अ सूप, एक सूप में जो सोरनेस है जो उसका सॉल्टीपन है, और जो किसी और फूड का है तो वो जो है वो डिफरेंट होता है. सो वी कैन ऑल्सो एबल टू डिस्क्रिमिनेट द डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट according to our experiences, according to different features which are related to our taste. Now move to the third sense organ, which is the skin. Skin is basically a very larger sense organ. ठीक है, ये हम फ्रॉम फेस टू टो पूरे बॉडी को हमारे कवर किया हुआ है. ये इट स्प्रेड फ्रॉम द फेस टू टो, एंड दिस इज द लार्जेस्ट सेंस ऑर्गन्स. एंड सेंसेशन ऑफ टच, वार्म, कोल्ड, पेन, प्रेशर, इन सारे सेंस ऑर्गन इन सारे इंफॉर्मेशंस को हम रिसीव करते हैं थ्रू अवर स्किन. एंड इन स्किन ऑल्सो देयर आर स्पेशलाइज्ड रिसेप्टर्स फॉर ईच वन ऑफ दीज. ठीक है, बहुत सारे स्पेशलाइज्ड रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं हमारे स्किन में. एंड रिसेप्टर ऑफ टच नॉट इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. जो रिसेप्टर ऑफ टच होता है, रिसेप्टर ऑफ पेन होता है, वो इवेंचुअली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं होता है. दैट्स वाई कुछ पार्ट ऑफ द अवर बॉडी आर टू मच सेंसिटिव एंड सम पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी आर लिटिल बिट low sensitive. For example, our face and our hand are more sensitive than the our leg, ठीक है, देन कंपेरिजन टू अवर लेग. हमारे लेग लेसर सेंसिटिव होते हैं, जबकि हमारा फेस और हमारे हैंड्स जो हैं वो ज़्यादा सेंसिटिव होते हैं. एंड पेन हैज़ नो स्पेसिफिक स्टूमुलस डिफ़िकल्ट मैकेनिज्म. ठीक है, पेन जो होता है ये बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक स्टूमुलस होता है, ये बहुत स्पेसिफिक स्टूमुलस नहीं होता है, ये इसी से रिलेटेड होता है. एंड इसका जो मैकेनिज्म है वो काफ़ी डिफरेंट होता है, डिफ़िकल्ट होता है बेसिकली. नाउ मूव टू दी kinesthetic system. So these are talking about the 5 major and the external sense organs: the touch, smell, and what are the touch, taste and smell, and the visual and the auditory system के बारे में हम डिटेल में later on पढ़ेंगे. Now move to the 2 internal sense organs. First of all, the kinesthetic system. So the receptors located primarily in joints, ligaments and muscles. हमारे ligaments में, muscles में, जॉइंट्स में इसके रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं. एंड दिस रिसेप्टर्स बेसिकली गिव अस इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ लोकेशन ऑफ आवर बॉडी पार्ट्स इन रिलेशन टू ईच अदर. ठीक है, हमें जो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है कि हमारी बॉडी पार्ट्स कहाँ हैं और किस डायरेक्शन में हैं, क्या फंक्शन कर रहे हैं, इसके बारे में जो हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है ये बेसिकली हमारे काइनेस्थेटिक सिस्टम के थ्रू मिलती है. और यही रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है इस टाइप की इन्फॉर्मेशन हमें मिलने की. फॉर एग्जांपल, अभी मैंने हैंड यहाँ रखा है, अभी मैं अपने हेड को टच कर रही हूँ. नाउ आई मूव माई फिंगर ऑन दिस टाइप. सो दिस इंफॉर्मेशन मेरा बॉडी पार्ट कहाँ है, क्या कर रहा है, इसके बारे में जो हमारे ब्रेन को हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन देता है वो हमारा काइनेस्थेटिक सिस्टम देता है. और इसके जो रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं वो जॉइंट्स, लिगामेंट एंड मसल्स में होते हैं. एंड दिस अलाउड्स टू परफॉर्म सिंपल एंड कॉम्प्लेक्स मूवमेंट. ठीक है, इसी के हेल्प से हम सिंपल से सिंपल, फॉर एग्जांपल talking to this is very much complex, but simply raising the hand or the talking or the smiling, showing any kind of emotion, making faces, सारे के सारे जो हम एक्शंस करते हैं, सारे जो हम मूवमेंट्स करते हैं वो बेसिकली इसी के बेसिस पे करते हैं. एंड विजुअल सिस्टम जो होता है वो भी इसे हेल्प करता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हेन वी सी कि हमारा हैंड ऐसे हैंड मैंने रेज किया हुआ है, सो नो डाउट हमारा विजुअल सिस्टम जो है वो काइनेस्थेटिक सिस्टम को हेल्प करता है. हम रीचेक कर पाते हैं, वेरीफाई कर पाते हैं कि वेयर इज़ माई हैंड, मेरा हैंड अभी कहाँ है एंड क्या फंक्शन कर रहा है, उसके बारे में हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन तो काइनेस्थेटिक सिस्टम देता है, बट नो डाउट विजुअल सिस्टम जो होता है वो उसमें हेल्प करता है, ये हमें वेरीफाई करके बता पाता है. नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट इंटरनल system which is known as vestibular system. So this basically give us information of body position, movement and acceleration. ठीक है, जो हम पोजीशंस बना पाते हैं, सिटिंग पोजीशन, स्टैंडिंग पोजीशन, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ योगा पोजीशंस. तो इन पोजीशंस के लिए जो बॉडी पोस्चर रिक्वायर्ड होता है, जिस तरह की हम पोस्चर्स बनाते हैं, जिस तरह के बॉडी को फोल्ड करते हैं, अपने बॉडी के पार्ट्स को मूव कर पाते हैं, वो सारी चीज़ों के लिए हमारा वेस्टिबुलर सिस्टम रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है. एंड क्रिटिकल फॉर मेंटेनिंग आवर सेंस ऑफ बैलेंस. दिस इज़ ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड फॉर आवर बैलेंस. एंड सेंसरी रिसेप्टर्स, इसके जो सेंसरी रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं वो लोकेटेड होते हैं हमारे इनर ईयर में. व्हेन वी आर स्टडिंग अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द ईयर, तब आपको ये ज़्यादा क्लियरली अंडरस्टैंड हो पाएगा. सो बेसिकली वेस्टिबुलर सैक्स एंड सेमी सर्कुलर कैनल जो होता है हमारे हमारे ईयर का स्ट्रक्चर होता है, वहाँ पे इसके रिसेप्टर्स सिचुएटेड होते हैं, लोकेटेड होते हैं. एंड दीज आर बेसिकली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर अवर मूवमेंट एंड द बॉडी कोऑर्डिनेशन. This is all about the sense organs, summary about the 7 sense organs. Now move to the sense modality. Why it is called sense modality? Because a single sense organ is a very specialized. It receives the very complex and the specialized sensations about the world. So that's why, and सिर्फ एक पार्ट नहीं, पूरा एक मैकेनिज्म इन्वॉल्व होता है. That's why this is the sense modality. Eyes is not receiving the visual signals. The processes of all the gaining the information about the any visual stimulus is the very complex and very higher order process. So that's why this we call sense modality. So first of all, sensation. So initial experience of an object registered by a sense organs. Sensation क्या है बेसिकली? इसके थ्रू हम इनिशियल एक्सपीरियंस फील करते हैं, जो कि एक रजिस्टर्ड होता है हमारे सेंस ऑर्गन्स में किसी ऑब्जेक्ट के बारे में. process through which we detect and encode a variety of physical stimuli and immediate basic experience of stimulus attributes like hardness, warmness. This is color in blue. This is in blue color, and the loudness, the voice is very loud, the sound is very loud. So the attributes of this stimulus, we are not receiving only the stimulus, we also receive the intensity, the attributes, the characteristic of the particular stimulus at the same time. So each sense organ is highly specialized to deal with a particular kind of information. That's why this is known as sense modality. Let's see about the sense modality. So our sense organs provide us with first-hand information about our external or internal world. The initial experience of a stimulus or an object registered by a particular sense organ is called sensation. Here is a typical meaning of sensation, which is here. So it is a process through which we detect and encode a variety of physical stimuli. Sensation or the sensation, what is sensation? So sensation is a process through which we detect or encode a variety of physical stimuli, and sensation also refers to immediate basic experience of a stimulus attribute, for example the hardness, warmness, loudness, and color, so which result from appropriate stimulation of a sensory organ. This is possible to the only about the sense organ. So this is give us a appropriate stimulation for of a sensory organs. Okay, this is about the stimulation, and different sense organs deal with different form of stimuli and serve different purposes. So each sense organ is highly specialized for dealing with a particular kind of information. Hence each one of them is known as a sense modality. This is all about the sense organs. So this is all about the today's video, and I think I have done, and the remaining part, the next topic is a functional limitation of sense organ, which we will discuss in our next video. Thank you so much, students.